Greetings, fellow survivors of the Armageddon. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Dino Armageddon. Episode 10, Fast Tracking Blastshot. Alright, so Sushi is making more Blastshot. Awesome. Looks like the flight oil is low, but we have plenty of seacomb leaf, so I'm not too worried about that. This isn't sweep only, correct? No, it isn't. Good. Well, let's submit a bioscan so we can go to the security door. Colony achievement. What do we do? Covered today's base entry? I mean, okay, but I did that a while ago. Game's like, congrats! It's like, no? Don't know what you're talking about? So what is in this now? It's got a bunch of intracosmic. So I think what I'll do, because it seems broken, is I'll just deconstruct it and reconstruct it, and go with a dual shooter. So construction 9. So one will be dedicated for one, and the other for another. I could enable as a disable. Yeah, that would be a little bit less destructive than the whole. And plus, I could like save and load. That would be another another thing to try. There, it's firing again. Just the typical IT, turn it on and off again, right? Hey, we've already destroyed it 10%? 11%? And this one will be for the regular Blastshot. Now, it will be dedicated for regulars, and then the one I'm building now will be the intracosmic Blastshot. So I'll split the requirement. Alright, it is getting a little hot in here. I might want to. So it looks like the phyto oil processing is a bit of the bottleneck. And the fertilization here. So farming is a priority that needs to be addressed better. So Sushi's gonna farm a little bit more than operate. That's fine. Alright. We still want to just, like, keep going with the nickel processing, so that's fine. So we'll have regular Blastshot in one, where it targets anything that is incoming, and this one will be the demolior Blastshot. Requiring iron ore. That might be a little tricky. But, yeah, I'll do it. It's not really a rush. I mean, I would say the bottleneck for time is producing the actual munitions. It's not doing the firing. So as long as I'm not bottlenecked on the Blastshot maker itself, I'm not worried about time. So once this is built, we can consider researching, because you guys said, I think what I want to do is solar panel first. So we'll start to get solar research, but as far as priorities go, it's going to be a lower priority than operating. So I'm not going to push for it artificially fast. It'll just get done when it's done. Ooh, a skill point. Athletics? Oh, and the Macho had a skill point too. And athletics. Exosuit. Basically, the faster they move, the better it will be once they're done with the operation processing. So, Macho, are you coming up here with stuff? Yeah, you are. Perfect. Okay. Intra. Cosmic. Done. So no one's stressed. Food's pretty good. All of the seacomb is now planted, which is awesome. So that ought not to be the bottleneck anymore, and farming is getting managed a little bit better after adjusting Sushi's priorities. So we should have Phyto oil coming off the line. We've got 4 more shots ready to go, and we have 85 shots left to make. So the current priority is make solar power. What's my overall opinion playing with only 3 dupes? I don't know. It's fun. I mean, one of the big things of Auction Not Included is as you add dupes, you have to scale up hard, which requires a lot of time. So keeping it small is kind of nice. I might even prefer it. Alright, the Blastshot maker has 600 biodiesel left in it. Cool. Would it be viable if I couldn't scrub the skill of the dupes? Yeah, you would just need to plan accordingly. I've not needed to skill scrub much at all. Shield's never been skill scrubbed. Macho got skill scrubbed once. Sushi is the only one that's been skill scrubbed multiple times. Get wrecked! This Meteor Blaster's really cold. It's at -6 Celsius, so I'm not... This one's hot. Wait, one is warming up and the other is cooling down? Oh, is that because this is always on? I'm just going to disable this building. I'm worried about this, like, overheating. Because I think this is, like, scanning, and the act of scanning warms it up. Whereas this isn't scanning, it's just, like, firing. Dumb firing. So we've almost done 20% damage to the demolior already. Not bad, not bad. Some things we're gonna need to do. We are gonna need to make sure that we've got a steady supply of nickel coming in. Because the firing of the missiles require nickel. So, I'll go ahead and set up some nickel mines. So we don't run out. I don't want to destroy this, because this is part of our... I mean, I could replace the nickel with, like, shale. But I don't want to displace these plants, because these plants are part of our nature reserve. Does having removed the background wall affect the cooling? Probably not by much, no. That would only affect the cooling if it was in a, in a gassed environment. It's currently in a vacuum, so I don't believe that would be the case. I think what it was is this one was actively scanning for short-range target selection, meaning that it was on all the time, driving up the power, whereas the other Meteor Blaster only fires when it has intracosmic Blastshot loaded into it, which means it turns on, turns off, turns on, turns off, which means it isn't actively scanning and therefore not consuming a lot of power or producing a lot of heat. which I think is the difference of the two. But I did just turn on my my fart pump, for lack of a better term, and maybe that will cool down this meteor blaster. But I think if we want active scanned meteor blasting, we would need to some sort of cooling loop for that. You know, like a conduction panel, for instance, which is probably not in the cards, which means solar is probably not in the cards. Solar panels. So I can work on a conveyor system, but that's probably the most complex I'm gonna work towards. So right now it's saying I don't have a lot of phyto oil. Let's go ahead and high priority sweep the seacomb. So we can put the seacomb in the box so it's not a high, it's easier to collect. But it is, it's at 81%. There we go. Load the seacomb up. Sushi leveled up. So Sushi, I will work towards ranching again. See if I can't get, like, ranching next skill point. I don't think I'm going to bother scrubbing because it's such a non-issue. So I've got 1,000 units of seacomb, so I really don't think that's the problem. So we just need more phyto oil. So let's assess all of the priorities all over the base. The algae diffusers still need to be really high priority. No one's using the research. Farming is 7s. Yeah, I think we're fine. I don't see any problem with our priority really at all anymore. And then power is 9, but that makes sense. Yeah, I think we're fine. Making phyto oil, making biodiesel, and then making Blastshot. Yeah. Now, the only other thing we might want to consider, as like a side task for now, is dealing with the heat. Because as we fire these things up, they do get hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. So, setting ourselves up with some Wee-warts would be a smart thing to do. Because Wee-warts work slowly over time, so getting them now is going to be a lot more effective than getting them when things are like overly hot and I need it in an emergency. So I'll get these 4 Wee-warts through this ladder and be able to hook them up like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to move the skill scrubber. And just drop the skill scrubber here. Now I did potentially want the conveyor system. I think I'll do the conveyor system after the Wee-warts. So let's update this. Set up Wheeze cooling and then make a conveyor. Alright, for this skill scrubber, I'm not even going to bother plugging in right now. There we go, there's the fort. And I made them sleep blue. You know, the other thing I could do is here I'll plant bristle blossoms. Oh, we're down to 80%. Because we can have it'll be a nicer environment. Alright. Those ladders are taking its time. Yeah, it's fine. Hey, look at that! The outgassed farts cooled down my Meteor Blaster. I figured it would. Because what's happening there is it's allowing the thing to radiate out. Because it's temporarily not putting this into not vacuum. So, yeah, we cooled it down 100 degrees Celsius by just farting on it. Solid. Or gassy. Like it. Okay. So the Bristle Blossom's coming up. The reason I did that is it is a, no one's allergic, and it's a floral scent. And I'll put another Bristle Blossom over... Can I put it here? I should be able to put it there, right? Without ruining the Great Hall? If so, I'll move it. But, you know, have people be in floral scent. It's not bad. So there's some other things that we're going to want to prep to make sure that our Blastshot cycle is not interrupted. Another one is to tap these water sources, because the phyto oil requires 3/4 of it is water. So making sure that we have pitcher pumps near here is ideal. In fact, I would even say digging this out so that it all slooshes here and collecting a whole bunch of water there would be ideal. So that might be something we do as well. Oh, here's the ladder. Shale's probably not a very good material because it's not locally sourced, but, you know, whatever. And we are 114 cycles away. So as long as we're shooting 1 missile a day, we're like on track to survive, in other words. I'm going to share a little spoiler, and the basis of the spoiler is essentially what happens if you don't shoot it down. So, being blue for the spoiler, if you don't end up shooting down the demolior, what ends up happening, and this is like just stuff I've gleaned off the wiki, I haven't experienced this myself, is this entire area becomes like blown up and full of like molten rock and melts and volcanoes and it not only destroys what's in there, but it also like terraforms it so that it is massively hot and volcanic, essentially. Or at least that's what the wiki said. So if you don't end up blowing it up, it's not game over, but you have to adapt to your new environment, in other words. So, end of that spoiler. Something new to print? Come on, give me like, whatever, curative tablets. It's kind of nice. I do get food poisoning from time to time. So body temp here, it's too hot. Well, lucky for you, I'm wheeze-warding. I like how the Bristle Blossom's like, it's too hot here. It's like, yeah, I know. That's exactly why I'm getting the wheeze-warts. We've got 2 of the 4 seeds. There's nothing out here, man. These boring biome. No volcanoes, no geysers. 77%. Alright, waiting on biodiesel, which is waiting on phyto oil. So yeah, pretty soon, as you can see, I'm gonna have run out of water in the local area. I can mop up a little bit of it, but it's certainly not gonna be enough, so we're gonna need to seek other water sources. Luckily, there's lots of, like, untapped water puddles around, so it shouldn't have much of an issue trying to make phyto oil out of water. And you are constructing the least efficient possible, bringing one thing of shale at a time. Unfortunately, I'm like digging through phosphorite, abyssalite, bleachstone, and barely any igneous, so it's not like there's local rocks to utilize. Really? Growth halted. Illumination. Oh, yeah, that's a thing. I forgot about that. In that case... play smart, not hard. Land it there. Landed next to the printing pod, which is full of lovely, bright glow. I just wanted floral scent. Man, the game is like really making me work hard. This Bristle Blossom is only going to work as long as there's like wild shine bugs in the area. So it's like not a very good spot because it's not reliably illuminated, but I don't, it's fine. I don't really care. All right, so that ladder's done. And then we just need this ladder. And we'll have our Wee-warts. And the purpose is, we're generating, I mean, I don't think we're going to have, like, overheat problems, but we were generating a lot of heat here, so I might as well just, like, treat the heat. That was the theory, at least. There we go. So here's a Bristle Blossom that is actually growing, being pollinated, getting illuminated, all that jazz. Good. Good. Wee-wart number 3. And the number 4 will go right there. So this is just about the left side. Oh no, not quite. This is obsidian, not abyssalite. Or not neutronium. We haven't found the... like this, we haven't really surveyed much. I mean, there's not a big point to do a lot of exploration for this scenario. Because we're mostly just fighting the asteroid up above with the resources we have in hand, so... there's not really a hard push to explore. One thing I will say is we definitely have slowed down a bit on trying to make Blastshot because of the Wee-wart. Really, as soon as I task my dupes with anything else, they very, very, very quickly lose focus on operations. One thing I do find interesting, though, is as far as, like, Phyto Oil goes, right? So let's open up the encyclopedia for Phyto Oil. So as far as Phyto Oil goes, you could, if you want biodiesel, or rather, if you want to make Phyto Oil at all, you're sort of stuck going through the plant pulverization, and there isn't like an electrified method to do that faster. So it is a lot of manual labor, like no matter what, which I find interesting. And there isn't like a room, there isn't like a workshop room or anything like that that would also benefit from production speed. So it's one of those, like, it's slow and there's no way to really speed it up, which I find interesting for dealing with the demolior. Now, it's not the only method, right? So if you look at the intracosmic Blastshot, you can make it with any refined metal, just about, peat, fertilizer, you know, whatever. And then as far as the second ingredient, you can also use petroleum. I would say at this point we're pretty dedicated on the biofuel path, but there's a non-zero benefit to push towards petroleum to have it as an alternative fuel. Is this is this an unknown? No, I guess we know what that is. was curious if we spotted a new geyser or volcano, but nope. Alright, after we're done with the Wee-wart, which is going to be that's right now, we are already got it. What I'd like to do is to have a source of water closer to the plant pulverizer, ideally here, so that plant pulverization is really, really simple. So I'm going to mine through here and create a puddle. So the idea is to put a pitcher pump right there. And then I'm going to I'm going to mine out in such a way that why are you're not stuck. You're just stupid. I'm going to mine out in such a way that that all this water drips straight into the pocket. And that way, when we're trying to make, you know, phyto oil, we don't have to go very far for the water. So in this pocket, we've got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So just without measuring, I'm going to need a water storage about this large, I'd gather, to fit it all. One might say, hey, I might want a lip. Because what I could do is I could have it be a little bit deeper, and then I can fill the bottom with, stuff to raise the water level up if I need to. So I'll build it a little extra large just in case. Okay, and my Meteor blaster is only 1.5 C. It's not going to overheat. We're down to... we have already blown it up a quarter. Not bad, not bad. I think I'm gonna bother with airflow tiles here, just so that gases can't get stuck in this pocket. And then with that in mind, probably do something like this so that there's like a way for the gases to come out, because otherwise they just get pocketed here. Essentially, I don't want to trap carbon dioxide anywhere but the bottom. Attribute. Nice. Sushi's better at machinery. As, of course, we make more Blastshot, they're just going to get even better at making Blastshot, so it's a positive feedback loop, given enough time. I don't have anywhere to sweep oxalate. I don't really care if it's underwater. Printable. Ooh, tender brisket or spicy tofu. Well, I think I'm gonna go with spicy tofu. There's more kcals and also sounds awesome. Storage unavailable because the refrigerator's full. Boo. It's fun to hear the random, like, explosions when the Blastshot goes off. It's like, oh yeah, progress. So I'm doing high priority sweeps here, just so that there's nothing in the water, so that people stay dry, or dupes, rather, stay dry if they can. First blossom's coming up, and that should be a lovely floral smell once that's done. Now my dupes are not collecting sea comb all that effectively. I wouldn't say it's an immediate concern, but it's going to be annoying if they continue to, like, not collect it. Is there a delay between the shot and the asteroid damage? Yeah, it does have to launch. It's not instant. So time until impact, 111 cycles, and it is at 74%. I don't have a place for oxalate. Maybe what I'll do is put it with the bleach stone, just to be able to store it somewhere. I could put it in any other random storage bin and would just outgas, but who knows? Maybe I want oxalate at some point. Alright, the other fridge is all set, so all edibles, and we'll set this as a 9. That doesn't screw up the Great Hall, right? No, it doesn't. So then this fridge is going to be set to an 8, so that we prioritize storing food in the Great Hall. As far as decor goes, it's already a very high decor room. I don't really need to worry about that. Not too many sweet requirements left. Now you can see how I'm gonna get water in there. Just crack it open and floof. Cool. So we have plenty of space for food. Actually, you know what? I don't want to compost things because I want it to turn into polluted soil so that we can farm it. Polluted dirt, for a reminder, is a fertilizer for the sea comb. So I need polluted dirt, and rot will decompose into polluted dirt given enough time. So, like, rotten food is actually helpful. Why aren't we storing tofu in here, though? Spicy tofu allowed. Bristleberry, jawbone fillet allowed. There we go. Don't waste my tofu, boys. Alright, looking good. I don't think the conveyor is going to save me like a heck of a lot of time. I could build a conveyor system. I'm not against it. We do have the Wee-wart. So now that we have the Wee-wart, let's just do a quick check on ambient temp. So ambient temp was about 33 Celsius last I checked. Now it's down to like 30. So yeah, we don't have like a heat problem around our resource processors now, which is good. Break that dam? Yeah, I just want to do the last of the sweeps and then I'll break the dam. Also being able to get to the other side of the, oops. The other side, if we want access to this stuff, would be nice. Wow, their morale. I mean, a lot of this is the spicy tofu, but like 46 morale requiring 14. A little overkill, I think. Just a little. And it's about to get even better with the floral scent. Okay, all the sweeps are done, so let's break the dam, and that will make it a lot easier to pitcher up water for this. Swoosh! Can also hook up a bottle emptier here if I want. But, I mean, that's a lot of water. That's like more water than I think we're ever going to need. And there's even more water here if I break the dam there. So, yeah, should be fine. So that should help with the phyto oil. Now that there's almost no travel distance. The seacomb's here, the water's there. Pretty straightforward. That'll be good for phyto. And then phyto leads to biodiesel. And as long as the storage bin has bleachstone, which it has 282 kilograms of bleachstone, that should be fine too. So the next thing I would say is to acquire more bleachstone to make sure that the bleachstone supply chain is solid and not gas. Again, sorry, but can't help it. So clicking on the bleachstone here and making sure to sweep it. Although I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to sweep stuff that's like 20 kilograms. I'm going to wait for us to mine it so that there's high volume. Because bleachstone is one of those things, all the dartles crap it out. It's their byproduct. So there's tons of like little nuggets of bleachstone everywhere, which is... and I don't want to spend all my time sweeping up like tiny little fractions of nuggets of bleachstone, because that feels like a waste. You don't believe me when I say I'm sorry? You shouldn't. You'd be correct. We're at 71% demolior. So our peat's looking fine. Nickel's a little low, but nickel ore is fine. Algae's fine. Bleachstone is getting supplemented. This should help. Yeah, bleachstone is only useful for hand sanitizers and biodiesel. Also, if you want to intentionally outgas for water purification, because liquids in a pipe in a chlorine environment will lose germs. So I didn't really want the abyssalite, but it's like honestly just too annoying to deselect sweeping for abyssalite. I guess I will, just because I don't want them to waste their time, but, you know. Come on, sweepers. Let's go. Priorities. Storing higher. There we go. So shield's picking up a whole bunch of bleachstone. That's going to damn near double the amount that we have. Because in here, I only have 162 kilograms. And now we have 450 kilograms. Okay, more than double. I figured it would. And anytime we're low on bleachstone, there's plenty of bleachstone all over the place. So, I mean, it's just a matter of, like, the labor of supplying. So the seacomb units are holding at about 1,000. We have a bunch of phyto oil loaded in here. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my like lowest resource for this supply chain is. It's kind of hard to tell because it's like a moving target, and it's not 100% clear to me what I'm lacking most. But I was probably lowest on bleachstone, and now I have a half a ton of bleachstone, so that's not a big issue anymore. Printable, I guess, coal? Yay! I have fluorescent now, don't I? Woohoo! That I do. Well, that's nice. I mean, I really haven't had stressors really at all. Like, no one's been even much into the double-digit stress. But having access to floral scents, pretty sweet. As long as no one has allergies, which they don't. And if you're wondering, once you're in floral scent, it's minus 5% stress per cycle, which offsets things like yucky lungs, etc. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Dino Armageddon, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors.